But yeah, I would be very willing to release that. I'd like to see it. I want to see it myself. Not only you, I want to see that one myself.
President Trump says he wants answers about the 2 attempts on his life, and who can blame him? The president told Fox's Peter Doocy yesterday that he will be receiving a report on both incidents sometime next week, and he wants to make that information public.
So one of those would-be assassins, Ryan Ruth, will be before a judge in federal court this morning. Dana Marie McNichol is live in Fort Pierce, Florida, and she's watching that. I don't want to get ahead of our skis either, Dana Marie. What's going to happen today? Good morning there.
Hey, Bill, I'll tell you that status hearing is happening at 11 a.m. But remember that Ryan Ruth was spotted with an assault rifle waiting 12 hours along that fence line of Trump International Golf Course last September. Law enforcement arrested him after he fled the scene. And now, as we just saw, President Trump is looking for answers specifically about why Ruth had so many cell phones when he was arrested.
The second one, he had 6 cell phones. That's a lot of cell phones. And a couple of them had some strange markings on them. So, yeah, I want to find out. They are giving me a report next week sometime, and I do believe I'll be releasing. I want to release the report.
Court documents paint a picture of Ruth's bizarre antics leading up to the assassination attempt. Prosecutors say Ruth arrived in Florida a month before he attempted to assassinate then-President-elect Trump. Now, other evidence listed in court documents include a notebook with pages of names and numbers pertaining to overseas locations, 18 cell phones, 17 of which belong to Ruth, and terabytes of digital data. Ruth's extensive social media presence regularly called out politicians, including President Trump. In an apparent self-published book last year, he reportedly called for Iran to assassinate President Trump. Now, Ruth had over 100 run-ins with law enforcement and was a convicted felon. He also spent time in Ukraine to allegedly help recruit Ukrainian military. And again, as I mentioned, that status hearing is going to be today at 11 a.m. discussing that trial starting in September. Another 2 p.m. hearing, a sealed hearing that will discuss confidential information. Bill.
Dana Marie, thank you. We'll be watching that from here in Florida. Thanks, Dana.
And let's bring in Fox News legal editor Carrie Urban. So, okay, I feel like it's been a long time coming, this hearing. Maybe I'm wrong. I know the justice wheels move slowly. What do we expect to see today from Ruth? Will he speak?
Well, I don't know that he'll speak, but the government and his defense counsel are certainly arguing over what they have to produce and when. So the government is saying, hey, look, we're playing by the rules. We have been providing to the defense counsel everything that we need to, but they're not doing so in response. You know, they're talking about a potential insanity defense. We don't really know anything about that or how they plan to support that. Defense counsel is saying, well, we don't have to give you that. Now, of course, the rules that govern what both parties have to reveal is anything that's material to the case. With prosecution, that's typically exculpatory information. With defense, that's certain, say, a confession or witnesses. And so there's going to be argument over that. But if things go to plan, this is supposed to go to trial in September, so we'll see.
Okay, here's President Trump yesterday when Peter Doocy was asking him some questions.
It's been 7 months. Why do you think we don't know more about the guy who shot you in the ear?
I want to find the answers. I've told them. In fact, today I said, I want to find, we can no longer blame Biden for that one. He should have released that a long time ago.
Any reason that the Biden team would have held that back?
Well, look, I mean, as far as the Ruth situation is concerned, it's an ongoing investigation in a case. So anything that they would have revealed with respect to Ruth would be prejudicial, potentially. So that makes sense. As far as the other shooter and would-be shooter, assassin rather, in Butler, that one makes me scratch my head a bit, Dana, in the sense that that's over, right? I mean, he's no longer alive. And I'm surprised that the FBI hasn't released information, considering how close that person got to almost taking out the future president of the United States.
One of the things that Mark Meredith's report struck for me was that that Ruth had 17 cell phones. I mean, that's super suspicious. And
it's super weird.
Do you think, like, this is all speculations because we haven't heard from them. And the question is, are you acting alone, right? And maybe, right, this guy obviously had some serious problems and some serious issues, but he was wrong. Will we find out more about the evidence today?
No, because this is really just a scheduling conference. It's a perfunctory.
Okay.
Here's what the next 6 to 9 months are going to look at. And again, that's why the arguments of, hey, you're not revealing what you're supposed to reveal, the back and forth, why that's relevant. Because say the judge sides with the like the defense counsel or the prosecution, that could potentially delay things. But as far as the cell phones are concerned, I've always thought that was strange. Here's the thing, though. You know, crazy people do crazy things, and clearly this person is a troubled individual. The fact that he had over 100 run-ins with law enforcement previously and the like, you know, some of this you have to ask, is it just a reflection of someone who's just unstable and does crazy things? Or is he part of a broader?
Here?
Yeah, well, that's what defense is saying. They said potentially they're going to raise that. I don't know how successful they would be for a number of reasons, but look, it's either this is just a crazy person who did crazy things, or he's part of some broader conspiracy or network, but that's all going to be fleshed out, I think, over the next 6 to 9 months.
Carrie Urban, thank you. We will watch this as that hearing gets underway later this morning. Thank you.
Carrie, okay.